these kind of lanes, corners, little bumps, crests. Just call me Colin.
What are you saying, guys? It's Reece from Race Planet, and today I'm taking you for a drive in the 500Bhp Scooby. Now, if you watched the last video, you know that I got it mapped. Obviously, I had the engine rebuilt by Paul Finch. Got it mapped and it made 500 bhp on pump fuel. Obviously, there was a problem with the meth map because of the fuel pump in the swirl pot in the boot was failing when we tried to push more fuel through it. So I'm going to get that sorted, and then I'm going to remap it, get it mapped again with the meth, and then see what it makes. So just before we go for a drive, I just want to talk you through the car a bit, because a lot of people were asking, especially in the Facebook groups, the spec, etc. So I'm just going to run you through the spec quickly. So the car is a Subaru Impreza 22R. Scooby Clinic built 4 of these, and basically what they did, they started with a Type R shell, stripped it down, painted it, and then built it back up with a 22B body kit, forged engine, and all of the goodies. This is car number 2. For you guys that 22R, it's basically a Type R with a body kit that's been highly modified. Scooby Clinic made 4, if I'm correctly, and I think they are making another one as we speak. I'm not too sure. Somebody in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. Engine wise, it's got a 2.5 closed deck fully forged engine. It's got 3-inch straight through exhaust. It's got obviously upgraded downpipe, upgraded uppipe. The turbo that's on it now is a GT30 71R that I spoke about in the last video. There was a 46 SC46 on there, but obviously I changed that. It's got a Cyvex front mount intercooler, all the usual goodies that you expect from a high performance Subaru like this. So it's got upgraded brakes, it's got a swirl pot in the boot. If you know about these cars, you know that classic Subarus are deadly for fuel surge. Obviously the swirl pot cuts that all out now, so it's much better with the swirl pot. The 22B body kit is actually made from original 22B molds. If you know about Scooby Clinic, you'll know about them. They've got them hung up on their walls when you go there. It's got the 22B spoiler, straight through exhaust like I said. It's got the roof scoop. We've got toucan display, Defi gauges. We've got everything. It's basically, we've got everything. That's the only way to put it. Yeah, so I bought the car as a 22R, so obviously a lot of the work was already done, the body kit, the forged engine, etc, etc. Things that I've done to the car is, when I bought it, it had a 5-speed gearbox with a Auburn's gear kit in there. I've took that out and swapped and put in a 6-speed. I've had the swirl pot put in, I've had a fuel flex sensor put in, so I can have the meth. And then obviously it needed the engine rebuild, so that the engine got taken out, sent off to Paul Finch, who rebuilt it with stronger head studs, because he said when he looked at it, it was lifting, the head was lifting, so the head studs that he put in should be solving that problem. And what else have I done? Obviously changed the turbo, but yeah, MB developments handled. I've done all the work on this car, even my old Subaru. When it comes to me and Subarus, MB Developments just look after everything. They always look after my Subarus. They always look after me and the friends. So big shout out to them, Matty, Jono, and all the rest of the lads. As I stated in the last video as well, the car is mapped by Andy Carr as well. So yeah, between Matty, MB Developments, and Andy, our car's in good hands. In the car now, and to be fair, this isn't my first drive. I've been driving this car over the weekend, so I'm kind of used to it now. I understand the turbo a bit better, etc. I know when in my last video, I said that the turbo was more laggy. I don't think it's more laggy. I think obviously all it is that it comes in later, So the SC46 used to come in, like, it used to start spooling at about 3,000 and would be like on hard about 3,500 RPMs. With this turbo, I'd say it starts spooling at 3,500 revs and on hard at like 4,000 revs. So all it is it comes in later. The actual response of the turbo, right, when you're in the boost range is ridiculous. I actually was having a few runs with one of my mates over the weekend. We had loads of runs and we had loads of pulls, and he kept having to, yo, do it again, third gear 40, third gear 50, third gear, because he was trying to get into his sweet spot, so he was on boost when we went. Any speed that he said, third gear, obviously I was in the boost range. As soon as I put my foot on the accelerator, gone straight away. So the response to this turbo, now getting used to it, is actually all right. You just got to change your driving style a bit. It's not even changing your driving style, but if you get used to a turbo that spools like 500 RPMs quicker, obviously one that spools a bit slower or a bit later, obviously you're gonna have to adjust to that. But once you run it, and obviously if you can drive, it's so easy to keep the car in the turbo. You know what I mean? The only way really I can see it catching you out is if you're just chilling and then you have to try and go straight away. You know what I mean? But let's be honest, most of the time that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, this turbo pulls hard. It pulls hard. And I've actually been driving, what I've been doing is I've been driving the car around in medium boost, which is good. Obviously, medium boost, if I remember correctly, is about 440, 450. I'll have to double check that. But I've been driving it around and it's been fine. I haven't felt like, oh, I need to put it in high boost, or it's perfectly fine. You know what I mean? As soon as that turbo comes on, now it's a lot. It is a lot, man. It feels angry. The SC46 came in hard, but it felt like you lost a bit of steam. The higher speed you got, you know what I mean? This thing just keeps pulling. Sorry, just put this on. This thing just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. And first, second, and say half a third is actually underwhelming in this car. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say there's much difference to the old turbo unless you actually launch it. But when you hit like 4th and 5th, mate, it's never ending. It's never ending. Wow. So just driving around like normally, the car's actually fine. There's enough, I know it's a 2.5, so obviously you're gonna have that higher torque lower down in the revs. Someone did ask me on Facebook, like, when you're driving around, like, how does it feel? It feels fine. It feels fine, totally fine. Like, yes, again, turbo don't start coming into like 3,500 revs. But once you get used to that, it's not a problem. So when I was getting it mapped, I got Andy Carr to actually put launch control into this car because it didn't have it.
and you need it really to get the perfect launch. It's hard to hold the revs and build the boost without launch control, so you need the launch control really. And now, yeah, it launches and it launches very good. So let's launch it. I'll put this on. Fucking hell! Woo! Angry! But yeah, it'd be interesting to see when I actually get the fuel pump sorted, what this actual car makes on meth. Not that I'm going to run it all the time on the meth, but it'd be good to see. It'd be good to have a bonkers mode, you know what I mean? So when I need it, or when I want to use it, or when I want to be bonkers. Well, like I said earlier, this car on medium boost, which is 1.4 bar, is fine. It's totally fine. I would probably argue and say that this car on 1.4 bar is probably the equivalent to the car on the SC46. You know what I mean? So it's worked out as a win-win for me. So this car has definitely not lost its fun factor. It's not lost its response. It's just got more power, and the turbo comes in a bit later. I do feel like, although 2.5s give you a better torque and low down grunt, I think this turbo would actually be alright in like a 2.1 as well, or a 2.35, because obviously they rev higher, do you know what I mean, and they rev for longer, so then you'll be in the power band for longer, whereas obviously the 2.5 don't like revving, it's not good to rev, and the power drops off not far after 6,000, so yeah, it might take a bit longer for a 2.1 to get this turbo going, but I think once it's going, it'll be in the power band a lot longer. Fucking man. Oh Lord. It's lifting like it's lifting. Wow. This car is a lot faster. Route, yeah, this is my little route. I always do this little route, yeah. The first time I've done this route in this car, and it feels, I don't know, the end of the road, the corners are coming a bit quicker than what I'm used to. I'm just gonna pull over for a minute because there's traffic, you know what I mean? Spoiling the fun. But yeah, man, I'm happy. I am happy with this turbo. I'm happy with the setup now. I'm happy with the extra power. I'm just gonna dial in the meth map and see what it does really. So yeah, win-win, man. What did I say about second gear? Don't listen to me talking shit. These Subarus not made for straights, man. They're made for these kind of lanes, corners, little bumps, crests. Just call me Colin. Angry. That's enough now. That's enough. Let it cool down a bit. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm happy with the turbo, happy with the power. I actually love that I can drive this car in like medium boost and there's enough power in medium boost. You know what I mean? Before medium boost, put it in medium boost, it was lacking a bit, so I tended to always put it in high boost. When I wanted a bit of fun, I always had it in high boost. Whereas now, I literally can drive this car in medium boost. You know what I mean? When I'm having fun. If I want to get busy or someone wants a pull or whatever, then I'll put it in high boost. But apart from that, drop it into 1.4 bar, we're winning. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. In conclusion, happy with the car, happy with the turbo. Yeah, and I'm smiling. You know what I mean? Big shout out goes to Robert for the turbo and the car for mapping it. MB Developments for all the work that they do and they will continue to do for my Subaru. And yeah, man, stay tuned, man. Also, Subaru owners, especially Subaru owners from Birmingham, the Midlands, West Midlands, would you be up for a meetup? Everybody keeps telling me organise a Subaru get together, a Subaru drive out. Drop it down in the comments if you'd be up for that.
So guys, I was planning on doing some draggy runs. I was actually out last night doing draggy runs, but then this happened. So obviously nothing major, that's just a quick fix. I'm going to drive it around to the garage tomorrow and pull up on the ramp and fix it. So for the draggy runs, for 0 to 60 times, quarter mile times, 100 to 200 times, you're going to have to wait for the next video, unfortunately. So watching the video back, it might seem like I'm short shifting. I'm doing this for two reasons. Firstly, the 2.5s don't like revving, and actually the power drops off at about 6, so a lot of the power is lower down, so it's not like the 2.1s where you love to rev. They love to rev and the power is higher up. That's first reason. Second reason, also 2.5s don't like revving, like they don't like it. You know what I mean? The 2.1s you can rev the shit out of them. The 2.35s you can rev the shit out of them. The 2.5s you can't do that. So I'm kind of doing it to take it easy on the engine in a way. I do plan actually to put a 2.35 in this car, but that won't be right now, because if you know about 2.35s, to get a proper built one, you should know about the price tag that comes with them. So that's something that I will be doing in the future, and then I can bounce the car off the rev limiter, etc, etc. Well, not bounce off the rev limiter, but you know what I mean. But to be fair, it being a 2.5, I've just had to slightly adjust my driving style a bit, but it's still fun, still fun. I still have loads of fun. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. If you like this video, hit the like button, leave a comment, what do you think about the car, how it's driving now, and also if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that bell notification. It's Race Planet. Peace.